What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be doing another beginner lesson with strum pattern. This is going to be quarter notes. If you haven't watched the previous ones, I will leave them in the description box below or in the cards. They cover what chords we're doing and everything like that. So let's go and get set up and get started. Okay guys, as previously mentioned, if you want to catch up, everything's going to be below in the description or in the cards that I'm going to leave right there in one of the corners, wherever it may pop up. I always forget. But that'll be the best place to start as a beginner and then work your way into this video right here. So for quarter note strumming, once again, we're going to keep it very simple, guys. We're just worrying about coordination right now and just getting things rolling. So in my previous lesson, I talked about playing with just the strum on one, and I'm going to start this with the G chord, and then moving on to the next chord. That is still viable for this lesson. If you want to just do that, and instead of doing all the strums so you can keep up with the rhythm, that's perfectly fine. But if you feel ready, or when you feel ready, go ahead and take it to the next level and play along with me, because in the next video we're going to be doing 8 notes. So chords we're going to be using today is the G major, the C major, and the D major. Keep in mind, guys, that you can do this with any chord system you want. If you're learning a song, you just have to plug your chords in where they are and just follow the structure. You don't have to know all the rhythms and everything. You just need to know where your chords line up, play one strum, and move on to the next chord, just so you could start getting the outline of what you're doing. That's always a great way to start, especially as a beginner. So for this one, what we're gonna do is let's just get this rhythm going. For the left hand right now, I'm just gonna touch my strings. I'm not gonna press them, I'm touching them, and I'm gonna mute them. See that? I'm just touching them. I'm not putting any pressure down, I'm just muting them. Right hand, I'm just strumming through all the strings. What I'm doing here is I'm just gonna get a rhythm. Okay, it could be anything, it could be fast, but it's constant. It could be slow, but it's constant, okay? So usually with the song, you have to find the internal beat or metronome or rhythm of the song. See, I got rhythm of the song. Whatever that may be at is what you're gonna be having your feel at. So it's fast, fast, faster rhythm, okay? Why is this important? Is because this is gonna tell you where your changes happen. So when I'm playing, if I'm playing like G chord, to a C chord, that is what's going to carry me into the next chord of my timing. Of course, if you have a backing track, which we'll be working with down the road in other videos, but for now, this is a good way to help get pace. So when I do this, here we go. We're going to mute these strings. I'm just going to worry about my right hand and getting a rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is the first step, finding a nice even pace. And luckily right now, for us right now, you're gonna play along with me. So I'm gonna keep the pace as best stable as I can, and you can strum along. So let's do the first chord real quick. We're gonna go G. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, that's pretty simple right there, because you get set up and everything like that. But going into the next chord is where it gets a little complicated, because you gotta try to stay on that rhythm. So when I go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and switch, that's where I'm talking about, is on that C chord when that transfer happens. Once again, if you're not ready for that, you can still strum on G and then start working your chord over to the next one for the first strum of it. But that's something that we covered in the past video. So now you want to start pushing towards getting at least synced up with that change. Try not to leave early on that transfer from G to C. You gotta learn to hit it just as clean as that. Remember, we've talked about shapes, how they look on our guitar in our head. You should be saying the letter as well, like G major on 1. So it's G, 2, so on and so forth. And when we switch to C, you want to say C major in your head or out loud to yourself. That helps you just reestablish and reaffirm that what the chord name is, because a lot of people, especially some of my students, they still don't know their chord names, if it's major or minor. They might know it's C or G, but they're like, I'm not sure if it's major or minor or whatever. You want to have that information down right away, always. So let's work that G into that C. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and G major. 2, 3, 4, change, C major. 2, 3, 4. That's it, guys. If you can't do that yet, pause the video, go to your settings. You can always slow it down more than what I already am playing it at. You could slow the video down. So if it's at 100, you could slow it to 80. You could slow it to 60. But it'll stay in pace and you could try to play with me on that. That's always a great idea. Now, we're going to work from that C to that D. So let's look at that D major chord real quick. That's where we're going. And we're going to set up on C major. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and C major. 2, 3, 4, and D major, first chord strum in. I hope you could do that. Those chord changes are a little difficult for beginners especially. Once again, if you can't, you can always pause the video, work on this for a little while. It might take a week, it might take a month, it might take less, but you're learning fundamentals here, guys. You don't need to be rushing this. You don't need to feel like you're behind. You're exactly where you need to be. Music is a journey, and I've been playing the better part of 30 years, and I've realized, like, the more you rush it, the more you burn yourself out long term instead of doing it properly. So let's keep going. I'll stop right there as far as that goes. So now we're going to go C into D, and we're going to finish the strum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and C major. 2, 3, 4, D major, D major. 2, 3, 4. Good. Now realize I'm only working one chord into another. I haven't started from the beginning. And the reason for that is because if you always start a song just to get to where you're working at, let's say you start the song always at 0 and you're always getting stuck at 1 minute and 20 seconds, well, you don't need to play from the beginning to work on the part you're at. A lot of people do that especially, but you just need to work the function. So that's why I'm starting on the C, because I'm working into D, okay? Now, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna work the D back to our G, okay? We're gonna go from D major now, 1, 2, 3, 4, into the G major, and then we'll stop with just one strum. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and D major. 2, 3, 4, and G major for 1. Now, why didn't we go G major for 4 is because we're just wrapping it up to do it all one time. You can continue, you could go G, C, D, G, C, D in that order, but I'm just gonna do it all one time. We've built your basic foundation, working one chord to another, working in with the strum pattern, getting the feel. Now we're gonna put it all together, okay? So, from G major to C major to D major, and then back to G major for one strum. Let's set up for that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and G major. 2, 3, 4, and C major. 2, 3, 4, and D major. 2, 3, 4, and G major. I said D major instead of G major. My apologies. So that was a G major at the end there, not a D major. Guys, once again, you don't have to get all this with me in one sitting. When I was learning, and I'm still learning, guys, I bite-size things. I don't just go full-blown, I could just play this and I do it. I analyze it, I look at the shapes, I look at what I'm doing, and then I start executing. As you get further down the road, you start realizing this is where I'm at. That's okay. Stay where you're at, work your little things, and move on. It doesn't have to be perfect, though. You don't have to have everything 100% before you move on to the next section or anything like that. Otherwise, you'll be there just stuck on one thing and you're not having fun. Life can be messy, And guitar is no different. Learning any instrument is a little messy. You don't, the better you get at it, the better you get at the functions and everything. You're not going to get all this in one go, and I don't want you to think you will, you know, because that's just not how it works. It takes time to develop skill. So if you feel like you're getting around 70 to 80% ballparkish, and that's good, great. Keep moving forward. Keep coming back to the previous things you've learned, and keep working at it, you know, as you move further down the road. So I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions or if you need any help, I am a guitar instructor. I also teach piano, music composition, music theory, things like that. I'll leave you a link in the description box below if you need to get a hold of me. Thank you for watching this guitar lesson video, and I will catch you on the next one.